And we are live here at Econ 101 as I drop everything.
And are you recording on your laptop?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, so we're trying a new laptop, and I'm so excited and so nervous at the same time.
It's something that actually doesn't run on Windows XP.
Or two squirrels and a wheel.
Yeah, the hamster has died a long time ago.
Long time ago. All right, so if we are ready, let's give this a shot.
Yeah,
we first 2 minutes here. I'm glad we're only doing 2 minutes because if we messed up, we can do it.
I know it's.
Ready?
Yes.
There you go. Welcome. You're listening to Sports Econ 101, the show where we discuss sports topics from a business perspective. I'm your host, Edward Brown, along with my co-host, Russell Jackman, and hopefully Vern will join us in the next segment. He's on the road, I-5. I don't know where he's going, but...
Oh, I've been on 5 many times. I went to school at UC San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
I drove. I was telling my kids this. I only flew back one time in the 5 years I lived down in San Diego.
You did? You drove all the way?
Yes.
From San Diego to where?
Back up to here, to Marin.
To Marin.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know where you lived.
Cimarron.
Yeah, but that's still, what, 700 miles, 800 miles?
It's like about 600. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Back, but you're a crazy young guy in the your late teens, early 20s, and just, I would stop over at my brother's place at UCLA.
Oh, okay.
And then I'd sort of have that as an initial break, and then the long haul up the 5, just like I could tell you where, if you said 3 hours, 45 minutes from the Bay Area, I'd tell you that you were in Buttonwillow. No, Buttonwillow or McKittrick.
Okay, never heard of those, and I've lived in California.
On the 5. That's
I fly anywhere, anything over 20 miles, I fly.
Yeah, good luck trying to get to Newman. Here's one thing. When I was in the California Championship Wrestling, we did stuff all over California, and so a lot of it was in places like Lathrop, Newman, Angels Camp, Antioch. A lot of places that are on the outliers.
All right, so I've got some general sports trivia questions, but you said you've got some too.
No, you've
okay.
had enough of your after last week's dart things. I've had enough. I'm asking a question about the NBA, the NFL, and something, of course, about wrestling.
Okay, well, I've got almost all those. All right. This segment of Sports Econ 101 is sponsored by Pacific Private Money, providing mortgage investments that are currently yielding actually 7.7%. Doesn't get any more conservative than that. Check them out at pacificprivatemoney.com. Stay with us. You're listening to Sports Econ 101. We're going to be right back. All right. And what's nice is it's got a timer on it.
Yes, so you can see it very easily.
But see, it's still recording, though. That's the problem. I don't understand why it's still recording. It's still going on and on.
Did you hit stop?
Okay, I did. Okay, now it stopped. But crazy. Okay, so now
file, export.
Hold on, it's a little slow. File.
And you YouTube people
export.
Getting the free computer.
Audio. Oh, it's saved the MP3.
Oh, okay. So it remembers it of the initial. I guess you have to save at least one file as an MP3.
And it's at the sample rate of 44,100, which is
what
correct,
they want.
Which is what they want. So now I do, and it hasn't transcribed it yet, but it says it'll be ready in a few minutes. But I think we can
doesn't matter. The audio file is the audio file. That's what you're really trying to get out there.
Yeah. So even it'll do two things at once. We can record the next one while it's doing this one.
Oh yeah. This one has the power to do
All right, so this is going to be called Sports Econ 101, and this is for the 29th.
Do you want to listen to it back over again just to see?
Yeah.
Why don't we do it since we
2020 segment 1. And it's interesting. It's under this PC and downloads, but it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
For the quick access.
Yes, correct.
All right. So that's that. It's still transcribing, but now I can go to
to the downloads area and then play that audio file. And as we'll see where it cuts off.
I saved it, and it's not showing up.
Maybe it's not ready yet, although it shouldn't take that long to render.
No, because
It's
again,
2-minute
the
file.
two different things.
Yeah.
Because this one
It shouldn't
saves it.
take
My
long
old one
to
saves it right
render.
away. Oh, there, now it's showing up.
Okay, so it does
All right.
take maybe while it's transcribing, it does
Yeah.
work a little bit.
And it'll take a while.
Yeah.
The next one,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is a short one here.
That's all right. I just want to hear that it sounds good
Yeah.
for the first segment. Once you're sure that it sounds okay.
Why aren't we hearing anything? No. Oh, maybe, I wonder if you have to unplug this.
No, well, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Ah. Oh. Yeah. Couldn't hear you.
Yeah. So.
Okay, that's not going to work.
No.
All right, so what I'm going to do for now, because I can't figure out what's going on,
Go back
to no.
Well, why don't we figure out what's wrong?
Well, I don't have that much time. I mean, that's the only difference is just the transcribing it.
Well, yes.
Which isn't that big a deal for now, at least. I mean, because you're on. Everything's plugged in. This is the.
I mean, you can hear me when you put your headphones on. You can hear me.
Oh, yeah.
I can hear myself through the microphone.
Yeah.
Now this one's laughing and saying, "Yeah, you thought you were done with me."
That's right. That's why I didn't turn this off, because you never know.
Oh, we didn't record an hour's worth.
Yeah, thank goodness for that. All right, YouTube fans.
Audience. Yes, you're getting.
Wait a minute, I wonder. Hold on. No. Oh, that's Dawn. Okay, never mind.
And then you need to plug this back in.
Thank you. Remember which one it is. Not headphones, but microphone.
Right.
Microphone is correct. All right. Very strange. Edward Brown here.
Edward Brown, it's Vern.
Hey, Vern, how are
you? Okay, good.
Hey.
You can be part of the first segment after all.
Perfect timing.
Is Mr. Jackman there?
He is.
Oh, goody. Great.
Okay. Hold on.
You sound disappointed.
Yeah.
Now, come on.
Yeah. All right. We're this is perfect timing because we're just about to start. Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Here we.
I called in.
Yeah, I know. That's perfect. We tried something different because I got a new computer, but it's not working as well as the dinosaur. So
Technical difficulties.
yeah, we're starting with the dinosaur again. Okay.
Well, I think Mr. Jackman was working with you on that.
We were.
Yeah, but and then I got a new computer and
we don't want to waste your time on the. Where are you on the 5 right now?
We're not quite at the 5.
Oh, okay.
As usual, the plan's a little late tonight.
Okay.
No problem.
That's okay.
We do pretty well.
Okay. What's this one here? Is that just a?
It's another microphone. It's another
headphone.
Yeah. Another
okay. Don't worry about that. Okay. All right, guys. Here we go. Welcome. You're listening to Sports Econ 101. This is the show where we discuss sports topics from a business perspective. I'm your host, Edward Brown, along with my co-host, Vern Glenn of CBS affiliate KPIX TV in San Francisco, who's on the road and calling in, and Russell Jackman. And at each commercial break, we're going to ask a sports trivia question. And hey, Vern, get this. Russell won't let me ask my questions because he's got his own.
Last week, he talked about darts. Last week, the 3 questions were about darts.
Yeah, how well do you know darts?
And I said, come on. Now that we got to I had to pull a line on that. And say, it's my turn to do trivia because
well, maybe
no
we'll
more
do
darts.
Maybe we'll do both.
No more darts.
No more darts. All right.
I love it. Jackman calling it audible.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. When we come back from a break, we're going to get into some NFL potential rule changes, Little League teams not liking the Astros name.
Oh,
And
boy.
Deontay Wilder wore a 40-pound costume into his fight.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
He said that's why his legs broke.
The Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, laughed.
Yeah, he was given a 40 pounds to Tyson Fury too.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And then have a little thing about good old Mad Bum.
Oh yes, and calf roping.
And calf roping, yeah.
Unbelievable. Those are good topics. Great.
Good. And what else you got for us?
Well, a little bit of extra Houston cheating stuff.
Oh, okay.
You know,
We'll talk about that too. All right. And Vernon, you're on getting close to the I-5. What are you doing today?
I am headed toward first LA, ultimate destination, San Diego, for my youngest son's swim meet.
Where is he having the swim meet at?
The Aquatic Center in San Diego. It is a sectional meet, and it's high time that the dad gets to come down and see his son.
Very cool.
Is it an admission?
Initiate the Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
Is it over at the Mission Bay Aquatic Center?
I do believe that is it.
Oh,
All
I'm
right,
very familiar with it.
All right, guys. Hey, we got to cut out for our first commercial break. When we come back, we're going to continue on that Sports Econ 101. Don't touch that dial.
I used to go sailing at the Mission Bay Aquatic Center when I lived down in Oh yeah, my friend used to teach sailing there. Ian Lavero used to teach sailing over at the Marin Aquatic Center. We used to get so many hotties that would get on the boat. They would all want to go sailing, and that was like the massive chick magnet on a Saturday.
So who's going down? You said we. So who's going down with you?
I've got Nicole piloting.
Okay.
And then we have young Nikki in the back.
All right.
And we're just kind of chilling and cruising down the road.
All right. Tell everyone we said hey.
I will tell you this: when we check in, I will not be using the alias of Mason Saunders.
Yeah,
exactly. And tell everyone we said hi if they can hear us.
Edward says hi. Thank you. And
hey, there he is.
Yeah. What's that, Katie? Oh, I'm told. I'm told there'll be a group of college scouts in attendance.
Ah, very cool. Very cool. And you guys are driving all the way? Holy smokes!
Yeah. Well, we're gonna stay in Manhattan Beach. Later on today. So we'll
to break it up.
I got a college buddy of mine. We're gonna stay.
Nice.
We're gonna stay at her casa with her family.
Nice.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you said that.
And then we'll leave about midday tomorrow and head on down to San Diego. So
it'll be a nice drive. It'll be a nice drive. The weather's good, and may you not run into any traffic. Your timing is pretty good. You're having done that drive many times. That's what I was telling Edward is that I went to school at UC San Diego, and I only flew back one time. Is that
right?
Yeah,
wow.
That's a lot of driving.
Did that?
Okay.
I think it's intimate experience of the iPhone.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh
okay.
yes.
You guys ready? Here we go.
Let's go.
Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Edward Brown here along with Vern Glenn on the phone and Russell Jackman in the studio. So let's start off with the Astros. First thing I wanted to mention was Little League teams apparently in at least one area, 60 miles east of Williamsport, Pennsylvania. One Little League director is sending a clear message to his 4,000 players about the Houston Astros and their sign stealing. Right now in our league, the Astros are suspended. So basically, I guess they're not allowing any team to be called the Astros.
Yeah, who would want to be at this stage?
And
wait a minute. Wait, they're not allowing the Little League Astros to play, or
no. Basically, they're not allowing the team name to be the Astros.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I can understand that, I guess.
Yeah, but
you don't want any negative connotation to that.
That's got to be the first time in history, though.
Wow.
Right. I mean, what other time has there been where
it's been so shameful.
Get closer to the mic there, my friend.
Yeah, it's been so shameful to be associated with the team like the Astros, and there's yet another cheating allegation that's going on against the Astros.
And we've all kind of been there with kids. I mean, kids can be cruel. So
you
don't want any shaming of these kids that ship up and without understanding things being hurled at them verbally, and I mean, just
That's a really good point because if you think about it, a lot of times don't these teams like they've had their certain names for like when I played Little League, you already had the Mets and the Giants and the Cubs and that sort of thing, and they just happened to have finished off with in other words, they didn't make up the team names right there. You know what I mean? So they probably had to just get rid of it. And
well, but then there's a lot of like neutral team names, like ones that you don't find in the pros, like the Comets or
the Caps. That was a big one when I was a kid.
Yeah, and I was the Comets.
Yeah, is this team in existence, but they're known by another name? Do they change the name, or this team is they're just not having a team entirely?
I think that what it is any team that had been named the Astros, they're going to have to change the name. And I think that's what it was. What else do you have? What's the other cheating scandal you have?
I'm trying to find the player's name on Houston, but they were showing that he had a little device taped to the end of his bat, and it was like a little chip. It was like a sensor chip that was on the end of his bat, and it fell off his bat. And then I posted it on your Facebook site. Can you?
I'll have to think about
it. Yeah. And he right in front of the ump, he like first picks it up off the ground.
Yeah.
After it falls off the end of his bat, and he first tries to put it in his pocket, but the tape on the thing wouldn't get off his glove. So he tries to take it off and pick it off, and then he finally like scrapes it off and puts it back on the end of the bat.
When did that happen?
This was last season, or 3 years ago.
What kind of sensor, like to say what fastballs come?
Yeah.
I mean, but
what else would you put on the end of a bat?
But how could you do that? How does that help you when you're swinging?
Because it
unless it goes faster for you or something.
No, I think it helps sends a signal out to the folks who are trying to interpret the pitch. And the ones that are trying to,
gotcha. So it doesn't help him specifically.
Yes, it's the other side that's a part of the,
this thing never ends.
Well, yeah, and it's just so. But I'm telling you, this umpire was like from the school of the WWE ref academy, because he literally let this player, carry this chip. You'll have to see the clip of it.
It's really
obvious. It's right. It couldn't be more obvious. And yet, why the ump didn't say, what are you doing with this chip and this piece of tape? And why are you trying to shove something in the back of your pocket?
Well, it probably looked kind of normal,
No, it didn't.
No,
it didn't.
I'll have to take a look at
it. Maybe during the break right after the show.
We'll have to take a look at it.
Okay. Another cheating.
All right, so moving on to Deontay Wilder wore a 40-pound costume into his fight, and he's claiming that weakened his legs. Yeah, I mean, 40 pounds will do that.
Take a clue from the Ultimate Warrior, okay? You only need a couple of ounces of face paint and those little bands that you tie around your biceps to make your biceps look even bigger. And then, about 5 or 6 pounds of steroids, and you're fine. You're all pumped up and ready to go. You don't need for it.
Yeah, but the thing with Deontay Wilder, though, I mean, he turns sideways, he disappears. He's so thin, he's like 6'6", but he's like 220.
Yeah, but he's all hype.
But you got to figure the reach was pretty good, though.
Yeah, he shows with all his armor. I mean, I get it, the whole showbiz thing, whatever. And then Fury came in on a throne, with a crown and a king's robe. But here's the thing. I mean, Fury, he's almost, he's well over 300 pounds. So I mean, he was gonna, there's just
an 80-pound difference.
That much weight imposing your will on a guy that's 6'6", 220. I mean,
shouldn't they have like shouldn't they have a super heavyweight division like they do in wrestling?
They don't. I mean, it's all.
No, they don't. No, they don't. I mean, it's just.
Was it anything over 215 is a heavyweight?
And plus, Fury's pretty good. He's really. I mean, he's really good.
And we've really lost that concept of like heavyweights and super heavyweights in boxing. Boxing has become just kind of a giant blur of individuals. It's the weight classes mean a lot more in MMA than they do in boxing these days. You only if you have really lightweight guys or really big guys, that's really all you have. It's really only like two divisions. if you think about it in boxing these days. Wouldn't you agree, Vern?
Yeah, there's so many different weight classes. But yeah, I agree with you. I think to the untrained eye, you either got little guys, you got really big guys, and these are two bigger guys. And I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, Deontay Wilder. I mean, he's a good, skilled boxer, but in that particular match where he uses his right hand as his weapon, he wasn't really able to use his right hand. And then Fury just came right after him, right from the bell, and just was all over him so much, so smothering. Wilder couldn't even get a shot off.
And Mike Tyson was very happy.
Yeah, it made him look a little bit less.
The power punches were like 58 to 18. So it was just a huge disparity. So it was only a wonder that Wilder got caught in the third round, and he got caught again, toward the end, that led to the TKO in the seventh.
Gotcha. Hey, before we cut to a commercial break, where I have a sports trivia question, I want to ask Russell. Give us your first one.
Okay, the first one is there have only been 5 quadruple doubles in the history of the NBA. What one player has 2 of them?
Aha.
Well, yell out now or on the other side of the commercial?
No, you could yell it out now.
Yeah, because he doesn't care about it.
Well, I'm gonna go Wilt Chamberlain.
He doesn't have 2.
Yeah.
He doesn't have 2.
That's
And
great.
one of the problems was that Wilt Chamberlain played a lot of those years when they didn't keep steals and blocks as statistics.
Sure.
Oh, that's right.
With Kareem?
No, doesn't have the assists.
Okay. With Kobe?
No.
Jordan?
No. Jordan?
No, God, you guys are way
Russell
off
Wade?
now.
Russell?
You know, a guy
Westbrook?
that I have felt has been tremendously undervalued and underlooked as one of the great NBA players. And that
Pete
is
Maravich.
Somebody like John Stockton.
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Actually, he was going to be my next
Well,
one.
your 15th guess.
My 15th, yeah, eventually I
Yeah,
was
so
gonna
you
get
were
it.
right there.
I was right there,
Except
yeah.
Pete Maravich, you were right there.
Yeah.
So there's one. I stumped the panel on.
I was eventually going to get it. That's
Yeah,
why I
there's
wanted to
only
start
like
this on-
several thousand other players you
Yeah,
could
that's
have
right, exactly.
guessed, and you would have eventually gotten it.
Okay.
But only Olajuwon has 2.
All right.
It's
So
an amazing
okay,
play.
okay, we'll go to your next one in the next break here. All right. And by the way, this segment of Sports Econ 101 is sponsored by Pacific Private Money, still providing mortgage investments that are currently yielding 7.7%. They've actually increased it.
Like, even
them
after
out.
the stock market
Even
drops.
after, yeah. Check them out at pacificprivatemoney.com. Okay. Here's my first trivia question. It happens to do with tennis.
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 You see,
That's not even a
I'm
real
going
sport,
with something
right?
legit with NBA quadruple doubles, and he follows up with tennis.
That's okay. Man.
Ladies and
I
gentlemen,
got some golf
I
questions.
present to you
Yeah, okay.
with this case.
All right, how about this one? And then, Vern, you'll know this one probably, so don't answer it till we get back. Who won the most consecutive Wimbledon single titles?
Oh.
Who won the most consecutive Wimbledon singles titles? All right, stay with us. You're listening to Sports Econ 101. We are going to be right back. All right. I said was going to.
Hey, those 125 mile per hour serves, they're hard to return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've always felt Olajuwon has not been recognized
No,
for
that's true.
having put together
he
some
hasn't
amazing
gotten-
seasons. He had those back-to-back years where he, won when Michael Jordan wasn't in the league, and I think a lot of people sort of delegitimized how good he was playing then because Michael Jordan wasn't there. And those 2 Houston teams were pretty colossal. I mean, people don't give like Otis Thorpe a whole lot of credit. They don't give, Kenny Smith a whole lot of credit.
Yeah.
They don't give.
I can remember in 1984, we almost, we being Virginia, we almost beat them in the Final Four in Seattle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the Golden Colony.
Oh yeah.
So, just a bunch of Ophel Wilson was on the team.
I met Olden Colonies. That's a
and
good.
that was a tight game. We ended up losing 54-52.
Yeah, that was
Ooh.
5
In
slamma
the
jam.
semifinal game.
Yeah. With Ralph Sampson.
Yes.
No, Ralph
Oh,
gone.
he wasn't there at that time. Yeah, but
No, but that was 83. Yeah, that's because when NC State pulled off their miracle one. Okay, guys, ready? Here we go.
I was a Cub reporter for WCA Radio at the time.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Edward Brown here along with Russell Jackman and Vern Glenn. First trivia question that I had on tennis. Who won the most consecutive Wimbledon singles titles?
Man or woman?
Yes.
I'm going to go Sampras.
I'm going to go Borg.
I'm going to go Martina Navratilova because I've got the answer right here.
Ah,
Sorry about that. I know eventually you would have gotten that one, though.
ugh,
You don't like tennis questions.
no.
All right.
I actually interviewed her once. She's quite delightful.
Oh, good. We always like delightful people. And that's why, like, on Sports Econ 101, we're always nice to our guests because we want them to come back. I don't know these guys.
Less so each other.
By the way,
We're not as nice to each
Yeah,
other.
yeah, that's right, because I know you'll always be
Yeah.
there.
by the way, former guest, a friend of the program, actor Ellen Adair,
Yes.
on on this past Sunday's episode of NCIS New Orleans.
I saw your Facebook post.
Yeah, yeah.
She's
She of the scary, smart baseball acumen, throwing your acting chops.
yeah. It's interesting because I don't know when it changed. And now, of course, maybe not every actress is now being called an actor. But she's definitely somebody who says, yeah, just call me an actor.
Actrix with it.
Actrix, yeah.
She prefers being called an actor.
Actor. Okay, fair enough. Okay, the NFL is looking to make some changes. First of all, on the XFL, don't you like the kickoff?
I
love
haven't
the game.
watched
I love
any
that.
I think
XFL.
that's great.
I haven't watched
Yeah,
it.
basically what they do
Right,
is they move the football up a little bit. The guys are a little bit closer together, so you don't have the injuries of guys going 25 miles an hour pounding each other, and then you get a lot more fun kind of trick plays too. I like it. Okay, but the NFL is looking among items for the proposal a 17 game schedule.
Boo.
What's the matter with that?
It's terrible. The whole time you can't have an uneven number of games per season.
Well, but what they want to have, an extra, with the bye weeks, and then also playing in Mexico, Europe, and Brazil.
Yeah, that's not going to be a mess.
Yeah.
It'll create a couple of bye weeks, and then they want to add 2 more wild card teams. So you'd have 14 teams making the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that the extra wild card is going to happen.
Yeah.
But 17 weeks is a nightmare.
Well,
And I don't think it's a good
And
idea.
then-
Players
Then
Association.
they would drop the preseason by 1 game, I believe.
Well, that's smart because they don't need all that.
But I don't like a 17-game season is moronic. You just can't have an uneven number of games. I just think that that's a ridiculous concept. You might as well go to 18. If you're
Well,
gonna
that's
go to 17, might as well go to 18. You were going there anyway, and then you can have an even number of home and away games.
That's true. Well, they're talking about having a neutral
like
site.
this, by the time we're all like in our rocking chairs on the porch,
Yeah.
it will be 18 games.
No, you're right. I mean, it went from 14 to
It's
18.
going that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going that way.
And it says here a higher share of revenues for the players. The current number is 47%. It's kind of interesting. When do the employees get to tell the employer how much of a percentage they get?
When they can stop working and then there's nothing to be earned, not a cent.
Yeah,
to be
we
earned.
have seen it. I mean, it's the power of that players union. It's really strong. You take away the key players, your product suffers, and then nobody cares.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you can't.
Scab season was awful.
Yeah,
I mean, I still remember it.
I still do too. In fact, I played basketball with a guy who was a kicker for the Jets. And
Wow.
as soon as the preseason, not preseason, but the strike was over, they said, adios.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So much for job
Yeah.
security.
Wow. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Madison Bumgarner. Holy smokes, he's secretly competing.
Mason Saunders.
Mason Saunders is his stage name, yeah.
Ridiculous.
Secretly competing in rodeos, unbeknownst to the Diamondbacks, who gave him a 5-year, $85 million contract. But, of course, it's a safe sport, right?
Well, because he says it's not like he's wrestling steers. It's team calf roping. So he works with another guy. They both have ropes, and then they corral the rope around the neck of a steer and bring it to a screeching halt.
Is this the same guy who also did a little bit of motocross? And
First of all,
got hurt?
involving animals in sport is pretty weak.
pretty neat,
I
yeah.
think there's enough things you can do competitively against other human beings that you don't need to involve.
Like roping them like a cow.
Well, if that's what it comes down to, fine.
Yeah, but
No.
let's put it in context. I mean, this isn't like this is some guy that read it out of a book. Been doing it since he was 15 years old. I mean, he's a country cowboy.
Yeah.
And apparently he cares.
He's got a rocket arm, so he's been doing these things for years. It just so happens that he got outed by a couple of writers, and boom, that was that.
Well, outed by a couple of writers, but there's a lot of things you can think about. First of all, he had that dirt bike accident, which already was a major violation of his contract with the Giants. The Giants turned a blind eye to it, and instead of saying, you know what, I lucked out and I got hurt doing something stupid. Yeah. Well, you know what, I'm gonna next time, during the off season, I'm gonna go to a beach somewhere. I'm gonna go to play golf or tiddlywinks or pool or darts. Something. No,
but that's the thing is
why
do you're getting to the point is you're going against your contract. I'm sure it says you're not allowed to do.
Oh no, you're
not.
Sports. You're not at all. And so he already got a free pass.
Yeah.
And what does he do with that free pass? He goes under an assumed name.
Yeah.
And goes and does something that is totally a violation of his contract.
So what do you think is going to happen?
Nothing.
But I'm told in rodeo circles, everybody knew who he was.
Of course they did.
He was just competing.
Should have wore a mask, just like you do in wrestling. You should have been like the unknown calf steerer from parts unknown.
Okay, but again, going back to the contract with the Diamondbacks paying $85 million.
They're not going to do a thing, just like the Giants. And, but it shows me something that Madison this is the sort of thing that might keep him out of the Hall of Fame, and not because instead of him focusing on in the offseason about becoming a better pitcher, he wants to be a cowboy. And, it's fun to play cowboy and all that sort of stuff, but when your major league team is paying you nearly $100 million to rely on you to be their pitcher, you have a greater obligation than to, put on the spurs and your six gun and
but you said getting him out of the Hall of Fame. You're not talking about his performance. You're talking about the fact that because he's doing this, that'll keep him out of the Hall of Fame.
No, it's because he will not, I think, go to another World Series and win it again. I think his commitment.
He did this before.
Yes.
He did this a week before he signed this contract, and again, I mean, we're all products of our environment. I mean, in his mind, he's like, well, what's the risk in doing team calf roping? How can I get hurt doing that?
Well, then why did he use an assumed name then? If he thought it was all such a legitimate thing.
Did he run it by his employer?
Yeah, of course he didn't. And it just shows his mind isn't on becoming the best pitcher in baseball again. His mind is on going out there and roping the dogies
so what I'm hearing then from you is the not getting to the Hall of Fame will be based on his pitching performance, not the fact of like a character flaw of
right. Okay. Right. I think that he's not going to take it to another level. I think that we saw the best of him that we're going to get out of the Giants. 2014's it. Yeah. And that that's probably not going to be enough to get him in the Hall of Fame all by itself. It probably
now, Mr. Jackman, as we record this show, let's fast forward to like September. If Bumgarner comes out and wins 22 games, has an ERA of below 3, are you going to say, well, I was wrong?
Yeah, I will, because he's not going to.
All right.
He's not going to. We haven't seen that from the Giants. And then when you find out that he's got his mind on other things, I don't care really that it was calf roping. The fact it bothers me that he thinks there's something else in his life that he needs to be focused on in the off season.
But Mr. Jackman, he doesn't pitch for the Giants anymore.
I know.
What do you care?
Yeah. In fact, you want him to do that more.
Well, that may have something to do with that, but with a change of thought. But I don't know. I'm upset that after 2017 or whatever, he didn't learn his lesson from the injury that he got with the dirt biking. And that he's not taking that seriously. I'm disappointed.
But did he get hurt?
No, but he
did.
But why do you put?
Did he get hurt in this last instance?
No, he did not. No, he
did
not.
Then you may step down.
Okay.
just put him in his place, man. He just lowered his head.
Well, I still think that, you know,
hold your chin up there.
You may step down.
You guys crack me up. Hey, are you guys ready for another trivia question?
yeah, if it's mine.
Well, we'll ask them both. Here's mine. Who holds the record for the most consecutive PGA Tour wins?
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, so
Mine was, what's the only left-handed quarterback in the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Steve Young.
Okay, well, that one was too easy. Sorry. You blurted it right out.
I'm sorry.
Well,
Well, that was too easy.
Well, I didn't know that.
And I don't know why Stabler isn't in, but Joe Namath is. Just because of one game.
I think Stabler was put in the Hall of Fame.
Joe changed the game for the AFL. I mean, Joe.
Well, that's true, but
it's more than just. I mean, his stats, and he did put up big stats, and yeah, he did a lot of touchdowns. But Joe played at a time where he changed the game, particularly for the AFL. He was the first AFL big time star, and not only that, he went in and won Super Bowl III, and
and I think
and he slayed every single woman that there is.
Well, that's true. I mean, it's
that's why.
I think the Colts lost that game with 5 turnovers rather than him winning it, but that's okay. All right, stay with us.
The Colts were 19-point favorites.
That's true.
They did not get it done.
They did not. All right, stay with us. Sports Econ 101. I'll be right back.
Ken Stabler, Hall of Fame induction, 2016.
Oh, so he finally did get in. Okay.
After he died.
Yeah, after he died.
Right after he died. They put him in right after he died.
Rascals.
But yeah, I do remember him being in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, because I remember they kept passing him over.
Right, they did. It was unfair.
Yeah.
And then they waited. Then he got cancer. He died, and then they're like, "Oh, now we should nominate him."
I think the stupidest weight it was Ray Guy.
That was terrible. Yeah,
because
he
it's like,
what do
you mean he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah,
First of all, you have to get at least somebody from each position.
Right.
He's the greatest punter of all time.
Pretty much.
And oh, by the way, even his teammates would say, "No, listen, without him, getting in the
he was
the
tremendous
3-yard line or
in
whatever."
Position, yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
and he had such a long career.
Yeah.
And a great kicking average.
Oh yeah.
Well, he certainly checked off all the boxes. He dominated his position for at least 5 years.
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
More like 15 years.
In fact, it's funny. I used to almost hope that they'd go 3 and out just so I could watch Ray.
Yeah.
Punt. He was so good.
Maybe not that much, but
okay. I'm sorry I ruined your trivia question.
Yeah, you sure did.
I'm sorry.
Stepped all over it.
All right, here we go. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. One more time, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Russell Jackman and Vern Glenn. Second trivia question that I had, because unfortunately I blew your question. I apologize.
Well, you probably knew the answer too, Vern, didn't you?
Of course you did.
Well, maybe you didn't.
Of course.
He didn't know Elijah He didn't know about the Elijah question.
All right, who holds the record for the most consecutive PGA Tour wins?
Oh, boy.
You'll know the name.
Yeah, probably.
And it is a man.
I'm gonna.
Jack Nicklaus.
No, I'm going to give you the year, 1945.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm going to go. I'll go Ben Hogan.
No.
Jones?
No, Bobby Jones wasn't before him.
Oh, okay, well.
Come on. Who's the other one? I'll give you the initials. BN.
Byron Nelson?
Yes, Byron Nelson.
Wow,
11 consecutive tour wins. And even then, I mean, it's not like it was some sport that nobody ever played. I mean,
golf is another one that just.
Okay, well, just for you, I've got another golf question next time. But wait, you have another trivia question.
Thank God. Yes, thank God I do.
Okay, ask your trivia question, but I won't blurt out the answer.
Okay, why did the WWE change its name from the WWF to the WWE?
Which was Worldwide Federation.
No, it was
the World Wrestling Federation.
World Wrestling. Worldwide. I said Worldwide. Yeah, World Wrestling Federation.
It was once the WWWF.
Oh, that's right.
Years ago.
The wonderful Worldwide. No.
No, it was Worldwide Wrestling Federation, and it was owned by Vince McMahon Sr.
Gotcha.
And then Vince changed it to the WWF.
Okay, but you're saying why is it changed?
But then they changed it to WWE,
which is
around 2001.
World Wrestling Entertainment. Okay. So we'll think about that trivia question.
Okay, you don't know the answer right off bat?
Well, I don't know. I said I wasn't going to ruin it for you.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I can guess.
Yeah, I can guess too, but but we don't want
We'll
to
save that for after the.
Okay, I got one for you here. Name a sport where nobody knows the score until the very end, including the players or participants.
Wow. Nobody.
In fact,
Wow.
even the guy who's kind of in charge, like an umpire, referee, that sort of thing, even he doesn't know until the end.
Jeez.
I got a little silence on you there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we can't have dead airspace, so I'm going to tell you, boxing.
But there's a score that goes on round to round.
But the participants don't know. Nobody knows until the guys who were
Right.
Well,
voting.
the viewers do.
Is right, because only the judges actually know. We can only guess just on the eye test.
Well, that's true.
The referee doesn't know either.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was kind of an interesting question. Yeah.
Well, wouldn't that be for just about any judge sport? Wouldn't that just be about for
like as in wrestling, like as the Olympic wrestling, there'll be a score, take a point, give a point.
No, but like gymnastics or something like that.
No, they post that.
Oh yeah, that's true. They do have a running total.
In fact, do you remember Nadia Comaneci, the first 10?
Yeah.
It's like it took a long time to give her a score, and they put 1, and you hear a big. People go, no way, that couldn't be, and then finally they announced. I still remember that watching it live. That was very cool.
I was a little on the young side.
Yeah, you're just a child.
Like 72, wasn't it, or 74? Was it?
No, 76.
76.
Yeah, because 72 was Olga Corbett.
Okay,
In fact,
yes.
I still remember her routine on the uneven parallel bars because she did something that you still have never seen anybody do. You remember that, Vern? You remember where she'd stand on she put her do a touching her toes, so to speak, on the top, and she'd do a flip, land on the top bar, swing all the way around to the bottom one, do a complete somersault, and fly backwards and catch the bar.
Oh yeah. No, that's pretty standard stuff.
I still haven't seen it.
No, I've seen.
Really?
I'm amazed at the core strength you have to be a gymnast at that level. Really, at any level. It's unbelievable.
My kids are in gymnastics. And
guys doing the Iron Cross.
Oh God, no! I could never even do it. My cross is more like made out of tinfoil. Pretty...
Or you do it on the ground, you make a snow angel.
Yeah, that's otherwise.
All right. What? Anything? How's baseball preseason looking?
The Giants have won 2 straight right out of the gate.
Well, didn't they get smoked by?
I thought the Dodgers got them
the
first.
Yeah, but then they won the next 2. There you go, bam.
Okay.
Well, I've heard that the attitude in the dugout and in the locker room for spring training has been a lot more serious and a lot more intense
for the Giants.
Yeah, for the Giants, and that they
and the drills now they're not as long, but there's more ramped up reps.
Intensity.
In these drills they've been doing.
Well, you got to figure a new manager. They got Bochy's not managing right now, so you got Gabe Kapler in there, and get some serious stuff going on.
Kapler's like a workout fiend. He's he lives in the gym, so he's just indoctrinating all these things to kind of improve the core strength of his players.
I mean, he was a decent player.
Yeah,
he was decent. So you get a good, decent player.
You know what I like about him? This guy, he was drafted in the 57th round out of community. He went to Fullerton, flunked out, went and played at community college, junior college, got drafted 57th round by the Tigers. And when you're in the 57th round, you're just kind of figure you're just pretty much a spring training body, right?
Yeah.
But something happened where he worked so hard, he developed himself into the Tigers' top prospect.
Wow.
And once he got called up, that was it.
Yep.
Yeah. So
then
here's
won a World Series in 2004 with the Red Sox.
Oh, that's right.
Here's a question I wanted to throw back at you guys. A lot of people are talking about Steph Curry returning in the next week.
Why?
Is it a good idea or a bad idea to bring him back?
I don't think they should bring him back too early.
He wants to play, and if he's put to play, then what are you going to do? Just sell him? No, I guess you could.
Yeah,
but,
you could.
But he's the face of the franchise.
Yeah, we got to protect that health.
Guys wants to play. So I mean, he's healthy.
Well, what about Clay?
I mean, the left-handed
Clay's
field
not
is about as well as it's going to heal.
Okay.
Well, and that's one of the things I've heard is kind of a problem is that he said that he still is having numbness in his hand and that he might not ever really gain the feeling back in it, the pure feeling that he had. Yeah, and so that is the sort of thing that makes me wonder if it is a good idea to bring him back and put him in there right now. See if maybe
I look at it like this. I mean, Joe Lakers got to sign those checks, right? So that's a $20 million check. He's got to. Not $20 million check, but a series of what he's paying per year is $20 million. So I have to believe if the core of guys working for that organization with a doctor's degree goes to Joe and says, well, we can play, then what are you going to do? Now, Clay Thompson and that knee, that's a delicate thing.
Yeah, they've said that they won't play him this
So they went and said, no, we're just going to shut him down. Even though he's out there and he's doing some drills and he's kind of shooting around, but Curry's been a full participant in practice for a week now, and he's just been doing full-time scrimmages at a peak level.
And then what do? You just kind of keep him a little bit. Don't play at 100% strength.
Well, no, you control his minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
At least early on, I don't think he's going to be averaging 35, 40 minutes a game like he normally would. But if he wants to get out there and play, and Lord knows he'll sell some tickets, then why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something to be said about him having the additional time off just because he's played so many games, up until this season. He's had such an amazing workload.
Yeah, but you don't want to get stale either.
Do you think, though, even, an extra 20 games off for him would make him that stale?
Yeah, no, 20 games, no, but...
I mean, you just say, look, you've earned a reward. This team is not going anywhere. If it was...
Yeah, but he doesn't look at it as a reward, though.
I know.
He wants to play. He wants to play.
I know he does.
These guys are... That's kind of their mentality.
It's both a beautiful thing, but it's a little scary because you just maybe if he gets a couple extra months off, his hand really will fully heal. Maybe he's pushing it a little bit.
Yep.
And even though he's practicing in full practice, he's not telling everyone exactly what's going on with his hand because he wants to get out there and play.
Yeah, I know. Guys got to look at the team first. Hey, Vern, I want to ask you a quick question about spring training. How often do you get to go down there?
We usually go down once, certainly no more than twice, and we usually go down before they start playing games. As we usually go on the day that the position players report, and then we hang around and spend 2 days with the Giants, 2 days with the A's, and a third day to get whatever content we missed either at the A's or the Giants, and then we get back there. And the idea is to accumulate, so many interviews and so much content, B-roll of these guys playing that you can, that every day you got enough content to use something every day in your shows. Whether it's Sean Jelly, who's a 6'11" pitcher in the Giants organization, or the Oakland A's, a team that won 97 games and is projected to win at least that the following year, with a team that could be, I guess, in terms of depth, maybe one of the A's best teams under the Bob Melvin era. So you just try and go and shoot and come up with as many different angles as you can, and build enough content to run until they break camp and come back to start the regular season.
Yeah, I love going down to Scottsdale in March, or late February, early March.
And I tell people all the time, if you want to meet these players in a laid back environment, spring training is the way to go.
Yeah.
And people build entire vacations around that.
Yeah, in fact, you gotta get your Southwest Air tickets really early because it's amazing how expensive it gets, as well as the hotels around there. They get sold out.
But in terms of player fan
Yeah. Oh yeah. Food's great though.
The food's quality, and you just if you love baseball, spring training's the way to go.
All right. Hey. Okay. Russell, the answer to your question, why is it changed from the WWF to the WWE? Wasn't it like a trademark?
Yeah, because of the World Wildlife Fund, and the Vince McMahon was sure that he would prevail in a U.S. court, even though he didn't have the copyright first. And it turns out that the WWF, World Wildlife Fund, has had that trademark a lot longer than Vince McMahon had the WWF.
You know, but it's funny. Everyone just thinks about wrestling when you hear WWF.
I know. They don't think about the. And then he changed it to entertainment, though. Well, the other part of the story is why they changed it to E instead of just turning it back to the WWF, which they could have done.
And I think that goes in terms of the company itself and them transitioning to like a new era of wrestling. With that, now you have. In fact, I had an interview with Stephanie McMahon, and she talked about how each year we have a storyline. It is in part, and you start at the beginning, and you have a complete part storyline leading to the end, which is WrestleMania.
Well, they were also.
Hold on. I want you to, when we come back, I want you to tell the rest of that. Okay, who was the first non-American golfer to win the Masters? Stay with us, Sports Econ 101. We'll be right back. All right. Let me save this file. All right. This. Go here.
Good old-fashioned system. We keeping you up, by the way? Just.
I was a little tired. I had two guys at my house. I mean, my water bill. Take a guess as to how large my water bill was at the house.
1 month.
$300.
Well, they do it every 2 months.
Yeah, $300.
I wish.
I don't know, $250
For water for the house. You ready? $2,000.
Holy wow!
God,
what do you have, like a stream going on there?
There was some kind of a leak.
Was it like a man-made lake that you have going on there?
So then it could have gone fishing.
I've never had like a water bill more than like $80, I think, in my entire life. Yeah.
Oh. Well, I mean, we got landscape and stuff, but that was just
$2,000.
ridiculous.
I'm just trying to
think.
God! I've got a family of 4.
Fly on the wall. The expression on your face. You open up the bill, it said $2,000.
I thunk the decimal point was off.
Wow. Yeah, I would too. Even a $200 bill would be impressive.
We're impressive. Yeah. All right, ready?
Did they make you pay the $2,000?
Yes, but if I think we found the leak this morning, and so I can get an adjustment. But yeah, it's nasty. All right, guys, here we go. We're going to close this bad boy off. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Last time for today, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Vern Glenn and Russell Jackman. Here was my trivia question. Who was the first non-American golfer to win the Masters? Come on, you know golf.
Chi Rodriguez?
I'll give you the initials. GP.
Oh, Gary Player.
Gary Player, 1961.
Okay, well.
And he's Canadian, isn't he?
I wouldn't know.
South African, I believe.
Oh, South African. Okay, that's close enough.
So what I was going to say is that New Jersey was on the verge of regulating the WWF as a sport. And Vince McMahon did not want that to happen.
What would happen if they...
Because then they'd have to do steroid testing. They'd have to report to the sports commissioner, of New Jersey, and they'd be, there'd be a lot of other like implications of when you're regulated as a sport.
So it's just entertainment.
So by being the World Wrestling Entertainment, by being an entertainment group, they can do all these shenanigans like making people independent contractors and not necessarily having the kind of health benefits that they would have to do if they were a sport. So by moving into the entertainment business, they're able to get rid of a lot of regulations.
That's also why they call gambling gaming.
Correct.
Just for fun. Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're going to cut out. Here's our thoughts for the day. Charles Barkley said, if you're afraid of failure, you don't deserve to be successful. And
That's just horrible.
and Ernie Banks said, the only way to prove you're a good sport is to lose. Now, there's a guy who definitely knew, unfortunately, about losing. He played for the lowly Cubs during all those years. I think did he make the playoffs once or he didn't? Because in '69, that's when the Mets, when they first came out with the division, right? Rather than just,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I think he was just the best player
on a bad team.
On the worst team.
Yeah.
Kind of Chicago Cubs team.
Exactly. Except for Ron Santo. All right, tune in next week to Sports Econ 101. We're going to be discussing sports topics from a business perspective and asking more sports trivia questions. Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm your host, Edward Brown. Well, we'll see you next week.
Good night, America.
Adios.
That's a wrap. All right, guys.
All right. Enjoy your drive down there. Let me guess where you're at. You are near Patterson about now.